Try not to lose interest in all the basic stuff that I'm telling you or have been telling you in the previous parts. I'm going to show you a very basic technique in Vimix that is not only rudimentary but powerful if you, for example, are on a touch screen. So I think this is where we left off last time. 2 clips in here. I'm going to show you a way to load pre-configured sources. So click on this plus sign here, click on this icon, and you get a drop down where you can throw in some patterns that are delivered with Vimix if you install it. So these are static patterns, animated patterns. Just get a static one like black or white or a gradient, just for fun. 16 by 9, 1080 by height. You could change that in these drop downs if you want to. I don't need that. So what I always forget is change the blending mode to something different than normal. Normal would mean everything that is underneath it. So wouldn't be shown if you try to mix them together. Keep this in mind. This is a bit confusing in the beginning. So we have these 3 clips, and for the sake of having a bit more, I'm gonna throw in some animated flames here. So yeah, look at that. 4 sources, and like I told you before in the previous tutorial, you can select all of them and create this kind of user selection. Just gonna show you in the player, right? If we choose user selection here, we have everything that we chose. So I can also choose only 3. This is what we would see. For now, I'm going to select all of them and have a look at this. I'm going to have a look at this little drop down here. So the very first option, powerful, really very simple technique to get in to start mixing in Vimix is just link them. See these lines, and now you can move all of them around. So maybe not that spectacular, you think, but it is. If you do not click into the picture but choose to click on this little circle here, you see, you can animate these like you want. And this very basic technique is okay, what don't forget to select all of them to get this little menu back. So yeah, select all of them, and then fiddle around with the other options. You can center them. So relative to the position when you select them, they will be positioned exactly in the middle of the showing area. Or you can dispatch them. That would be this effect. Okay, try something else. You can distribute them. This looks different if you link them in another order. Let me explain that just by showing. I'm gonna unlink them, then rearrange them somehow chaotically, then go by align and distribute. You see all in one line. Now you have nicely in one line. Could animate it like that. Expand and hide, also best explained by just seeing what happens, or compress and show. Yeah, I think you get the idea if you just have a look at that. You can link them again. So when linked, keep in mind that you're not able anymore to move one of them separately just by clicking on them. That's something you should have in mind. But just by selecting them and unlinking them, you're back to normal. Can do whatever you want with your single clips. Okay. this is one thing I wanted to show, just to get a very quick way of mixing images together. I think this would be best on a touchscreen. I can imagine. I never used Vimix on a touchscreen, but I think this would be very handy to use. So another thing I wanted to show you very quickly is, I haven't talked much about the interface here. Your sources that you loaded into the program are shown here. So if you select them here, you can see immediately all the options you have for them in this view. Fortunately, the names here, the names here are the same like in their icons. You see this clip, for example, is called with this name from my hard drive, but it's I think it's the first letter or first digit in this case and the last letter, and this is how it's shown. So very compressed and sometimes hard to remember, but you will get used to it just by experience. So you see, there I forgot to make it to use another blending mode again. I always forget that. Okay, I think for the beginning of mixing, this was a good start. I'm sure I'm going in a completely other direction. So let me just tell you why I was so hooked up with Vimix. And I'm telling you because this gives a pretty good idea where this is going, where the tutorial is going. I use Vimix to gather a lot of different data streams, mainly OSC, Open Sound Control streams, from different devices like phones or even the little MIDI drum I have here. I try to make OSC commands out of them and then control well, images, not only images, also shaders, another topic. But I control these images here in Vimix by commands from the outside, and I think for me this is the most interesting part of Vimix, using MIDI keyboards or MIDI drums or phones, whatever you can think of, wherever you get OSC commands out of, could be used in Vimix, and that is what it makes very powerful. So I don't want to just click in the user interface and mix pictures and images together, right? Yes, you are right. No one does. And this is why I'm going to show you Vimix inbuilt input mapping feature. You need nothing more than just a keyboard, for example, to control your sources. This is how it's done. So we left off with a few clips here. I'm going to push all of them out of the active area for now. I will explain later why. So they are inactive. And with Control I, I'm going to, whoops, there's an old one. I'm going to bring up this input mapping window. Very nice feature. So just for the moment, make sure that you're on keyboard here. As you can see, there is a numpad feature, there's touch OSC feature and gamepad. I'm only going to talk about the keyboard feature today. I think it's pretty clear. After that, it's pretty clear what you can do with all the others. Maybe OSC, touch OSC, and not that clear, but another topic. Okay, keyboard. So for the moment, there you have the alphabet. For the moment, I'm just going with the key A. So I select that. There you have your reference, key A. And I want to tell Vimix that every time the key A is pressed on my keyboard, something should happen. So let's do that. So A is selected. I'm going to click the plus sign to add a source that I want to control with the A. So this one should be this one. And there here you can select in this drop down, you can select what feature, what kind of control you want to have over this clip. So at the moment I'm going for the alpha. This just means that I want to push this this source into this area and to make it visible, active and then visible. So how to do that? We choose alpha, and then maybe a bit confusing if you do this for the first time. You have to choose a value here that is fed into the source when you press the key A for the alpha value. So at the moment it's just inactive, so the alpha value is 0 or below 0 because it's inactive or below 0, and you want to make the alpha of this source be 1, so 100% if you click A. These little two features, options tell you what to do with the key press. So key press, apply value on key press would mean it's only applied if you press A and then it stays there. If you click again, it says a key down. This means that it's a sort of toggle. So as long as you press A, it's the value 1.0, 100% visibility. And if you let go the key, it will jump back to the value where it is now. So let's try that. Toggle. This is the speed that with which it should be animated, the alpha value. I'm just going with 120 milliseconds, and let's try. So pressing A, whoop, you see, letting loose, it's going out again and out, again and out. So I think this is the very beginning of mixing seriously. I mean, yeah, having something that controls your sources besides a mouse. You would set up, I think you would set up everything that you can let go off your mouse and never use it anymore if you're on a show or wherever. And this is the starting point, right, with your keyboard. I want to show you a difference. As you could see, we controlled the alpha value of this clip, of this still image it is. Just by doing, why can't we see anything on the output window? That's interesting, right? Let's see. Because it's on multiply. So if you make it screen, yeah. Oh yeah, just by accident now, yeah, perfect. Wherever you move this clip by hand, this will be the position where it will go back to if you let loose A. The key A, right? So have a look at that. Letting loose will go back to there. If you push it out of the active area, it will jump out there, right? Yeah. So letting it in. Okay. And another thing is there are different values that you can control with your keyboard. Basically, you can control everything, nearly everything in Vimix, but for the sake of a big difference, to show you a big difference, we are going to control even another source, but not with alpha. We're going for Loom. You may ask, what is Loom, right? It's something similar to to alpha, but in this case it's not jumping to the value that you give it here. It's going to increase or decrease the value by an amount that you give here. So yeah, it sounds complicated, right? But surely it isn't. So we're going by a value of, I don't know, 0.1 here, and we're still on key A, right? We're going to control two different sources with the same key. So the Loom aspect of this source of the gradient, no, of this one, I think, is going to be increased by 1, and let's have a look at that. You see, so it's moving. If I let loose, so this one jumps out again as we saw before, and this one stays right where it is after after increasing the alpha value. So pressing it increases, stops where it is, increasing, right? So, and just for showing you how to decrease, so you would have two different keys. S, you can choose S, select the same source, get the Loom aspect, and you could say decrease this by an amount of minus 0.2 if I press S. So let's see, I'm pressing A now, moving in, I'm pressing S now, it's moving out, but on a different rate. Yeah. I hope this gives you an idea where this is going. Yeah, controlling images by something, by, in this case, a keyboard. Sorry to jump back, but in this case it was a keyboard, but inbuilt features here is the numpad, not a big difference. Also a kind of keyboard, but a little more overview, I would say. I don't like working with a keyboard because it's just too much. Sometimes a numpad just comes in handy, a separate one. So TouchOC, as I told you, is going to be a different topic because it has to deal with OSC commands and maybe some additional software or applications. A gamepad. Some of you may have installed a gamepad on installed. Maybe some of you have just connected the gamepad to a PC or to another device where Vimix is running. You could with the same procedure as I showed you here with the keyboard, you could just hook up this gamepad to Vimix and control your sources. Isn't that something? I think it is, and it gives us definitely a direction where this is going. So, interested in more? Stay with me.